Hi everyone, Emily here from Emily Reads, and today I have for you a book haul. And you can't see this right now, but I have a chair next to me and it's piled high with books. And I said I was going to slow down on book purchasing. That hasn't quite happened, but I look at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I bought so many books. But here's the deal. I haven't filmed a book haul in a little bit. I don't think it's been a couple of months. So this is how I'm justifying this because I realized I haven't filmed my book haul with my book of the month picks for April and then also for May. So it's got 2 months worth of books on here. So it's not quite so bad. I did buy books from Barnes and Noble, my independent bookstore during Independent Bookstore Day, and then also Pango Books. And I used some credit that I had from selling books on Pango Books. So it's not as horrific as I thought it could be as far as damage to the bank account. I am keeping track of that in a spreadsheet. I have how much I spent on books last year, and I'm comparing it to this year. I need to update it since I did buy some books this past weekend. So I do need to update it, but the good news is I've spent less so far this year than I have this time last year. The bad news is I'm still getting books because, like I said, I'm using my Pango credit. And May 30th, we have a charity that's coming up, and this place called Books to Benefit, they support adult literacy programs, and there's a used book sale. I always go to it. It's $2 for a hardback book and 50 cents for a paperback book. So I go, usually spend a decent amount of money there, and I'm out of room. Like, I have books stacked on the floor and on top of bookcases, and this is after already buying like 2 bookcases this past summer. And now granted, the 2 bookcases are like 3 shelf bookcases that you can get at Target, but I need to start reading and unhauling books. Like reading and unhauling books I know I'm not going to keep. That being said, I have a haul, and this is in no particular order. So first, I use this. I bought this with credit from Pango Books, and that's Golden Sun, which is book 2 in the original Red Rising trilogy. You can see I'm already reading it. You will hear my thoughts on it. Good gravy. I had a brain fart moment there. You'll have my thoughts on it in the May wrap up. So more to come with that. Okay, so then Barnes and Noble book haul. So I went and I did purchase Funny Story last month, April. When it came out, I read it and I felt like the main characters, they're in like the female main character is 33, the male main character is 35. I felt like they were acting like they were in college or fresh out of college. Like they were just immature to me. So that book is now in my Pango bookshop. But I also picked up Best Served Cold. So this is one of the standalones I need to read. So I still need to read I read The Blade itself. I still need to read Before They Are Hanged and the third book in the First Law trilogy. And then I need to read this. And then I could read Heroes. So the reason why I need to be able to read those 3 books before I read the Heroes is in the 52 Book Club Challenge. One of the prompts is read a book that takes place in a week or less, and that is the Heroes. I don't know too much about this. I didn't look at the back of the book because I don't want it to spoil things for the original First Law trilogy. I do know that I want to keep reading in that trilogy. And then, and the reason why I bought it too was Barnes and Nobles was having like I think it was either like you can double your points or if you spend a certain amount, then you automatically got a $5 reward. So I ended up getting a total of a $10 reward. So the next book that I got, I picked up for free with using my reward money and my members perks. And that is Weird Sisters by Terry Pratchett. Now, I have not read anything by Terry Pratchett. I have been hesitant to read anything by him simply because I hear his style of humor is similar to Douglas Adams, which I did not care for The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy when I read it several years ago. So that's why I've been hesitant, but I've been told that I would like this. And I've been told by people who know my reading taste on BookTube. So I thought, it's free. It's a new book for free. So I'll go ahead. I'll give it a go. And we shall see. I don't know when I'll get to this. This is not a high priority for me. But again, it was free. And then this weekend, I was looking online at work on Friday and noticed that Barnes & Noble had a buy one, get one 50% off on their website. But when I went in the store, the books that were on the website that were buy one, get one 50% off were not marked as such in the store. So when I went to checkout, I said this, and the person was like, you know what? That sometimes store deals and online deals are two completely different things, but we will honor it for you. So I did pick up some books that I'm gifting. I have a brother who it is his birthday this month. So I have some books, but I also got a book for myself as part of the buy one 50% off deal. And I did get Shogun Part 1 by James Clavell. And this is Part 1, and it's 600 pages. Part 2 is 800 pages. I did not pick up Part 2 because they didn't have a copy for me in the store. And so I said, well, we'll just try Part 1. And if I like it, then I'll buy Part 2. And if I don't like it, I can just pass it along quite easily. And so I picked it up, one, because the TV series, and I don't want to watch the TV series until I've read the book. But this is about an Englishman, John Blakethorne. He's lost at sea, and he ends up being washed ashore, apparently in the 1600s Japan. And so it's about him, integrating into the life in feudal Japan. I'm intrigued. I did take a history of Japanese civilization class in college. That was so long ago, I don't remember a ton from that class. So it'll be good to read this. And then I also picked up, because I don't have any reading to do over the summer. I have so many books I need to read for my 52 book club reading challenge and my our fantasy bingo. But I thought, a coworker read this and loved it. So I picked up War and Peace by Tolstoy. I don't know if I'll read this over the summer. I do know I want to read this eventually. Now, the funny story is I had this edition once in hardback, and I got rid of it because I was like, I'm never going to read it. And then I just saw so many videos of people on BookTube reading War and Peace and loving it that I was convinced, okay, I should read it. And I was kicking myself for getting rid of the hardback. The hardback is kind of hard to read. And I did find at the charity book sale that I go to, I did find the Penguin edition of it, an older Penguin edition. And it was 50 cents, Price is Right. But the cover is wearing off. I had taped it, with washi tape. And I was like, I don't want to read it. So I picked up a newer copy. And if you don't know, this is just the lives of several aristocrats in Russia during Napoleon's invasion of Russia in 1812. So I'm intrigued. I'll read it at some point. I don't know when. I have the lofty goal of reading it this summer, but will it actually happen? I don't know. Because I'm also doing the Amazing Readathon, and I don't know We shall see. Then to support my independent bookstore, I bought A Court of Silver Flames, which is book 5 in the ACOTAR series. I have so far read through book 4, which is A Court of Frost and Starlight. I was kind of trying to hold off on reading this in June, but I think I might just finish it out in May. And then on Independent Bookstore Day, I picked up Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. And this follows half fae, half human Bryce Quinlan. And from what I understand, this is set in modern times. I could be wrong on that. And that's really kind of all I know. I don't know when I don't plan on reading this until I've read A Court of Thorn and Roses, which I have on my Kindle. I was able to purchase A Court of Thorn and Roses some years ago. Like they had the whole series, the whole 8-book series, like $2.99, like on some sale day. And I picked it up then, and I just have not read it yet. But I will, because I'm loving me some Sarah J. Maas now. Oh boy, that's going to fall over. And then using some of my Pango bucks, I bought Community Board by Tara Conklin, and I'm part of a book club on Facebook. We're going to be reading this next month, and so I picked it up. And this is about Darcy Clipper, prodigal daughter, nearly 30, has returned home to Murbridge, Massachusetts after her life took an unwelcome left turn. Murbridge, Darcy is convinced, will welcome her home and provide a safe space in which she can nurse her wounds and harbor grudges, both real and imagined. But Murbridge, like so much else Darcy thought to be fixed and immutable, has changed. And while Darcy's first instinct might be to hole herself up in her childhood bedroom, subsisting on Chef Boyardee and canned chickpeas, it is human nature to do two things: seek out meaningful human connection and respond to anonymous internet posts. As Murbridge begins to take shape around Darcy, both online and in person, she considers the most fundamental of American questions. What can she ask of her community? And what does she owe it in return? It sounds cute. Like they have on the back, like this Murbridge community message board. And on there it says free, 500 cans of corn. Accidentally ordered them online. I really hate corn. Happy to help load. Reminder, use your own beep garbage can for your own beep pet waste. I'm looking at you, Peter Louflin. So someone in my group has read this before and said, sorry, I was looking at the time. I'm part of a live at 3:00. Want to make sure I watch the time. Someone in my online book club has read this and really enjoyed it. So I picked that up. Then also with my Pango bucks, I picked up, and I've already read A Court of Frost and Starlight. Thoughts about this will come in my wrap up for this month. But what was so cute, and it was so kind of the seller, is they included this bookmark where I can track the books that I read. And then they also included this sticker, and the quote is, "To the stars who listen and the dreams that are answered." And that's a quote from A Court of Wings and Ruin. So I'll put that in my journal. I actually wrote that down in my journal, so I'll put that by there. And then also with some of my Pango bucks, I have been wanting this for years. And I managed to find them all. And I've read these several times since they've come out. Several times. I have checked them out of the library so many times. I've listened to them so many times. And I finally own my own copies, and they all look in really good condition. So I picked up Alana the First Adventure by Tamora Pierce, The Lioness Rampant, The Woman Who Rides Like a Man, and In the Hand of the Goddess. And so this is, if you're reading the Tortall series, I would recommend the first series to start with, Let me pull up the first book while I talk about it. And this is about Alana and her brother Tom, but mainly we follow Alana. And she and her brother Tom are twins. They're fraternal twins. And Alana would like to train as a knight. Tom would like to train in the magical arts. And yet they cannot because they're bound by traditional gender roles and the wish of their father, who wants to send Alana to basically go to a convent and study how to be a female, like the female arts of like sewing and keeping a household. And Tom has to go and train to be a knight. And so Alana concocts this plan of let's switch places and I'll disguise myself as a boy. And that is kind of the start of the adventures. And this was, it's a nice YA fantasy. And I recommend reading this series before reading Wild Magic. And I think that series is called The Immortals, because there are some crossover characters from this that go into that book. Okay, whew. I have some more books to talk about. Then we had to take a survey at work. It was about wellness. And then they said, okay, if you do this next survey, your name will be entered into a drawing for a $25 gift card for Amazon. So I said, all right, I'll join that. I'll do that survey. And I ended up happening to win the $25 gift card to Amazon. So of course I'm going to be buying books. So I bought Morning Star, which is book 3 in the original Red Rising trilogy. Don't know really what that book is about yet because I haven't finished Golden Sun, so I can't look at the back of that book. And then I also picked up A Court of Wings and Ruin, which I loved. I've already read it. It's tabbed. I talked about it in my April wrap up, but I really enjoyed this one. It just had me. It had all twists and turns and had me in all these feels. So super enjoyed it. All right, 4 more books to go. And then we're going to talk about Book of the Month. So I did purchase Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I loved this book. I've already read it, talked about it in my wrap up. But this follows Emma and Justin, and they both have a curse in that every time they date someone and then they end up breaking up with that person, then the next person the person that they break up with, it ends up being their partner for life. So they decide, let's break this curse. So let's just date each other just for the summer. And then when we break up, we'll be able to meet our perfect match. So super enjoyed this. And yeah, she's an auto-buy author for me now. I really like her a lot. That was my glass door that I banged. All right, then I justified May and my Book of the Month purchases by saying it's Mother's Day and I'm not a mother. I don't have a mother to celebrate, so I'm going to just celebrate myself and treat myself. That's how I do things. So first I picked up 5 Broken Blades by May Copeland. And this is, the dust jacket says, "'Tis the season for treason. The king of Yusan must die. The 5 most dangerous liars in the land have been mysteriously summoned to work together for a single objective, to kill the god King June. He has it coming. Under his merciless immortal hand, the nobles flourish while the poor and innocent are imprisoned, ruined, or sold. And now each of the 5 blades will come for him. Each has tasted bitterness, from the hired hitman seeking atonement, a lovely assassin who seeks freedom, or even the prince banished for his cruel crimes." That just, it hooked me, is what I'm trying to say. I will say this. I'm so angry with Barnes and Nobles and all of their pretty books. Like, I went there when I picked up War and Peace and Shogun. I saw the display for Five Broken Blades, and it had stunning, stunning sprayed edges. And I was like, oh, like I would like to have that because they're stunning. But it's not cheap. And I will say this, book of the month, like the add-ons are $10.99, and I can't beat that. Nope, this is not sponsored by Book of the Month. Please note that. Then I also picked up The Ministry of Time. And the reason why I picked this up is it just sounds so intriguing. So it's in the near future, a civil servant is offered the salary of her dreams to work on a top secret project. A recently established government ministry is gathering expats from across history to establish whether time travel is feasible for the human body, but also for the fabric of space-time. She is tasked with working as a bridge, living with, assisting, and monitoring the expat known as 1847, or Commander Graham Gore. As far as history is concerned, Commander Gore died on Sir John Franklin's doomed 1845 expedition to the Arctic. So the concept sounded super intriguing, so I wanted to read that. And then last but not least, oh shoot, I thought I almost dropped my books. I picked up Christina Lauren's The Paradise Problem, and this, I'm a little worried that I'm not going to end up liking it because it's got a trope that I'm not 100% behind, but we shall see. I did like the Soulmate Experiment. I'm messing up those two titles. The one with the DNA, and then like the reality show. Those two ones, when they came out last year, I really enjoyed those two. So I'm hoping this will be a hit for me. But this is about Anna Green, who thought she was marrying Liam Weston for access to subsidized family housing while at UCLA. She also thought she signed divorce papers when the graduation caps were tossed and they both went on their merry ways. 3 years later, Anna is a starving artist living paycheck to paycheck, while Liam is a Stanford professor. He may be one of 4 heirs to the Weston Foods conglomerate, but he has little interest in working for the heartless corporation his family built from the ground up. He is interested, however, in his $100 million inheritance. There's just one catch. Due to an antiquated clause in his grandfather's will, Liam can't claim the money until he's been happily married for 5 years. So it's like, I love a marriage of convenience. I'm not a big fan of second chance romance. So we shall see. That's why I'm a little nervous about it, but I do love marriage of convenience, forced proximity, that kind of trope. Whew, that was quite the haul. I am excited to say that I have read a decent amount of the books in this haul, or have plans to read them really soon. Like, some of the recent Book of the Month purchases are also my potential TBR for next month. But that's it for now. Is there anything I should prioritize? And I should be slowing down in the purchasing. We'll see what Book of the Month does. But I do know I do have a pre-order for Mirrored Heavens coming. And that is the 3rd book in the trilogy, like Black Sun, Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse. That will be coming to me in June. And then I have the companion novel to The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. Sorry, I was looking at my bookshelf because I couldn't remember the author's name. So I have the companion novel to The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. That's coming out in July, and I've already pre-ordered that. And that's all the pre-orders that I have. I did not pre-order Wind and Truth yet because I was like, because that comes out in December, I'm kind of hoping that I can use either like a gift card that I get for Christmas, or maybe someone will gift it to me for Christmas. So that is all for now. Let me know what I should prioritize and what are you reading. Bye for now.